What if I told you that your favorite game, the one you play to relax after a long day, might actually be training your brain? Not with flashcards, not with boring brain apps, but with sprawling worlds, hidden paths, and that constant question of, okay, where do I go next? Today, we're talking about spatial reasoning, your brain's ability to understand, navigate, and manipulate space, and how video games might be one of the most effective and accidental training tools we've ever created. Let's start simple. Every day, you use spatial reasoning without thinking about it. Parking a car, finding your keys, estimating whether a couch will fit through a doorway without destroying the wall. Your brain is constantly running 3D simulations in the background. That ability comes from networks involving the hippocampus, parietal cortex, and visual processing areas. They work together to answer questions like, where am I? What's around me? How do things relate to each other in space? Now here's where games come in. Unlike movies or scrolling through feeds, games don't let you sit back. They demand interaction, decision-making, movement through space. Take open-world games. When you navigate a massive digital city or landscape, your brain builds mental maps. You learn shortcuts. You recognize landmarks. You remember which route feels faster, even if you couldn't explain why. That's the same cognitive process you use to navigate a real city. Puzzle games add another layer. They force you to rotate objects in your mind, predict outcomes, and mentally manipulate shapes before acting. That's classic spatial transformation, something engineers, architects, and surgeons rely on daily. Then there's strategy games. Placing units, controlling territory, managing distance and timing, all of that trains spatial planning. You're not just reacting, you're forecasting space and movement over time. And here's the key point. Your brain doesn't really care that it's just a game. Neurons fire based on tasks, not labels. If an activity demands spatial reasoning, the relevant networks engage. If that engagement repeats, those pathways strengthen. That's neuroplasticity in action. Think of it like this. Every time you explore a virtual world, you're sending your brain to the gym. Not a full-body workout, but definitely leg day for your spatial skills. Now, the big question, does this transfer to the real world? Research suggests yes, but with nuance. People who regularly play spatially demanding games often perform better on tasks involving navigation, mental rotation, and spatial memory. Some studies even show structural and functional changes in brain regions tied to spatial processing. This is why virtual environments are now used to train surgeons, pilots, and engineers. VR simulations rely heavily on the same skills gamers use every day: depth perception, spatial prediction, and precise movement. But let's slow down for a second. This doesn't mean all games boost cognition. Passive games with minimal spatial demand don't do much, and more time isn't always better. The benefit comes from active engagement, exploration, problem-solving, adaptation. Mindless repetition? Not so much. So gaming isn't a magic pill, but it can be a powerful tool. What's really fascinating is how intuitive this all is. Humans evolved to navigate complex environments. Games just happen to recreate that challenge in digital form, compressing it into a living room experience. And maybe that's why so many people find these games deeply satisfying. They tap into something ancient. So, the next time someone says gaming is a waste of time, here's a better question to ask. What skills is this game actually training? Because chances are, while you're chasing objectives or building virtual worlds, your brain is quietly leveling up. And that might be the most underrated power-up of all. So now I want to hear from you. Which game made you feel like your brain was working, not just reacting, but truly thinking in space? Drop it in the comments. Let's map this out together.